Africans do not like Black Americans. So this is a fact.
No, it's an opinion, and a very asinine one at that.
I thought people were going to mistreat us and not like us. I was always thinking, or I've always been taught, oh, you know, Africans don't like African Americans.
And nothing but love and not hostility.
Zambia, that we are one Zambia, one nation. So anyone who looks black to us is our brother.
Yeah, that's true. We are brothers.
Connect with our culture, with our people, with our roots. They tell us that, so we stay away. So we don't help build our communities. They want to keep communities poor.
Black Moses. I was called Superfly.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't dislike Black Americans because we lost our culture. It's because deep down, y'all jealous. Y'all jealous that we the cultural engine.
So African Americans are admitting to the fact that Africans do not hate them. Africans don't hate us, that's what they are saying. After visiting some African countries, now they realize that Africans do not hate them. So that narrative that people are trying to push, especially the FBAs, trying to push that Africans hate African Americans or Black Americans is totally false. But you know, you still have some African Americans, that is FBAs, basically making it look like Africans really hate Black Americans. But many of them too are sharing their opinions and sharing what they think about this whole thing going around on social media. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You don't lose anything by liking, so just give the video a thumbs up. Let's go into the video, watch, come back and talk.
So I've been in Ghana for the past week. This is my second visit. And surprisingly, this is what I've learned. Africans do not hate us. Africans don't hate us at all. As a matter of fact, that is what the media tells us. So we don't come here. So we don't connect with our culture, with our people, with our roots. They tell us that, so we stay away. So we don't help build our communities. They want to keep communities poor. And they show us the worst parts of Africa, so we're not interested in coming. But it's all a lie. I have not been mistreated at all since I've been here. I've actually been shown a lot of love. A lot of love. They love to see us coming back. Is there jealousy? Do you get side eyes from people? Yeah, of course. That's anywhere you go. That's everywhere. If you've been wanting to come back home, come back home. I have the most peace. And I definitely don't spend a lot of money when I'm here. But come back home. Stop letting the white folks lie to y'all and tell y'all that Africa is poor. So is America. America's poor too. America's poor too. But you know what? You make the best out of wherever you are. Ghana is a beautiful place. Don't let anybody just stop believing what other people tell you and just come experience for yourself. Beautiful communities. Come on. Just come. Right now, I'm on the roadside, going to get some fruit. You know how much I'll spend? No more than $7.
So I'm back from Ghana, and the differences between our two countries and the danger that our country is in could not be more apparent. And this idea that Africans don't like Black Americans or don't see us as a part of them, Ghana just sinks that shit like the Titanic. They're so open to us. They call us brother. They literally say, welcome home. When I went to Elmina, the fact that I'm Black American got me so much compassion. They family, yo. And I went all over Ghana. This wasn't just me being in one city coming to a conclusion. I went from Accra to Cape Coast to Elmina to Tamale up north to the city of Wa to Mole and back. When I tell you that there is no equivalent of the kind of political, combative, vitriolic dialogue that we're having in this country, it's just absent. I didn't realize how much I think about perhaps being involved in an active shooting until I went to a place where that was literally not a possibility. You see, most Americans don't know about the Global Peace Index. It is this database that tracks how violent and prone to crime a country is and how safe you actually are. And out of 163 countries, America ranks 132nd. What's Ghana rank? 55. Those are just numbers. But you don't really understand the difference between 132nd to 55th until you really do a vibe check. I mean, the only 3 African countries that rank above Ghana are Mauritius, Madagascar, and Botswana. And the only Western country that ranks below America is Israel. And every country that is an active war zone is pretty close to where we are. Like, going there, there's no question that America's more advanced technologically when it comes to like how often your internet works and the sanitation of the water and how often they pick up trash and how well the roads are like paved, right? But Ghana is more advanced socially. There are pockets of different languages, different religions that in the American context you would think would be at war. No, sir. People are getting along. There is harmony. And because of that harmony, there is safety. The social cohesion in Ghana compared to America is off the charts. The value-added interactions, the positivity, like you can smile at anybody. They'll smile back. Like you can ask anybody for help. They'll try to give it if they speak the language. Just the way in which you could feel the friendly vibe, the way in which people are like holding hands, even men, heterosexual, sexuality is not in question. It's literally about the bonds between folks. They're killing this part of the exam. We are failing so miserably. And don't make any mistakes. There are parts of Africa that are experiencing poverty to a level that would shock your Western sensibilities. So then the next question is, so how are they surviving? Nobody starving, ain't no ribs showing. The land of Africa itself provides. I mean, literally, people be in the villages. There's always some goats. You know who's cooking the jollof rice. You know where the chickens is at. There's always eggs. There's always fruit. I'm talking about fruits that you don't even see here. Like when they selling them by, like you don't even know what they are. When you go down to the south in Cape Coast, the ocean provides. They're selling things that you would never think to eat, and they're selling things that you would love to eat. There's always something to sustain yourself on in land that just sprouts this rich food like the land of Africa. I'm going to say this again. If you love infrastructure, Ghana's a fixer-upper in some places. There are ways that we need to invest in like water sanitation and pipes and like, you know what I'm saying, roads and like picking up trash, right? But those problems are getting solved actively. Ghana is a land that's on its way up. America, yeah. But you got to adjust your lens of how you look at Africa, because what you're looking at is a place that survived an apocalypse. The slave trade was an apocalypse. Colonization was absolutely an apocalypse. Have you noticed there's no apocalypse movie set in Africa? Because apocalypse movies are Westerners' greatest fear. What's going to happen if the bridges and the phones and the heating and the refrigeration don't work? Africa, shit get cut off, and then they figure it out, and then it get cut back on again. Like, they're calling us out on how we lose our peace when we have poverty. Having been to Ghana, it's clear to me now. Material wealth is not the path to peace or freedom. Freedom is literally in kindness. It's in connectivity. It's like the safety that people provide because they understand that everybody is in this together. When you look at the political situation, they all love the president, John Mahama. I haven't heard one bad thing about him. They say he's facing challenges, but generally, Ghanaians believe in their president. Things are different here. But if you think that freedom is brandishing a gun and arming yourself against your neighbors and living like a billionaire and having all your money going right, it shows that we are so gravely on the wrong path. Ghana makes you want to get to know your neighbor, makes you want to smile at people, makes you want to figure out how to like be food secure without the government. You know, it makes you want to return to the kindergarten values of decency, because in aggregate, they're so much freer than we are. I'm Theo E.J. Wilson.
King, you guys went to Ghana.
Yes.
Y'all went to Ghana together.
Yes.
So when you're in Ghana, because I want to visit Ghana, what's it like being back in the motherland?
Oh my God.
But love and not hostility. Everywhere he's gone so far, people have shown him nothing but excitement towards him. If Africans hated Black Americans, you wouldn't see crowds welcoming him, celebrating him, and treating him like family. And most of the online narratives that some FBA folks be pushing don't match real life. It just doesn't, because most of the Africans hate Black Americans talk lives on social media. It lives online. Real life interactions show respect and connection. The internet exaggerates beef that regular people don't actually live by. And online beef looks serious, but regular people don't move like that in real life. And we're seeing it in real time because people in Africa relates to him as a young Black person and not as some American outsider. And that's what Pan-Africanism looks like in practice. And lastly, you got to think about it, because TikTok is a white bourgeoisie app, and so are Instagram and Facebook. So of course, these platforms are going to push content that makes it seem like Africans hate Black Americans and that Black Americans hate Africans. The elite doesn't want to see us united. So that's why we're going to have to take a step forward to actually put Pan-Africanism in practice.
What do Zambians think about Black Americans? You know, one funny thing, Zambians, I think we look at Black Americans like they are like us. They are like our brothers and sisters. We don't look at them to be strange. If anything, the white man will look them to be strange. Even Indians, you know that Indians are closer to us more than the Muzungu, more than the whites. But the blacks, everyone except they will just tell by the accent. You know, we have different cultures, but there's a motto which they say in Zambia that we are one Zambia, one nation. So anyone who looks black to us is our brother. That's true. We are brothers. Yes. Sisters, and we know we are just separated by circumstances centuries ago. But we don't find anything wrong. That's why, that's one of the things about Zambia, which is hospitality.
Africans do not like Black Americans. So this is a fact.
No, it's an opinion, and a very asinine one at that. Because Africa is a continent with 54 countries and over 1.2 billion people. A statement such as Africans don't like African Americans is a very ludicrous statement because one, is perpetuating this narrative that there is beef and animosity between Africans and African Americans. And two, what that is doing is it's generalizing an entire continent based off of the actions of a couple of African hairdressers who live in America. And this is coming from someone who has traveled to 4 out of 54 of the African countries. Okay, so I went to Tanzania and I was treated like royalty. People were bowing at my feet. I felt like I was some type of long lost queen who had finally returned to the land. Let's talk about Ghana. Ghana was one of the most beautiful countries that I ever visited. I had a family who opened up their home to me. They were feeding me 3 times a day. We were living by the beach. They were doing so much to just make me feel welcomed and loved. So this is for all of my African American people. Go to Africa. Go to the different countries that are there. Learn some of the languages. Learn some of the cultures there, because this is the thing. There are more similarities than differences between Africans and African Americans. And we need to kill this narrative. We need to break the plane and start the conversation so that we can get to know each other and enjoy the beautiful continent that we call the motherland, Africa, Azania. Okay? Peace and blessings, y'all.
African Americans are telling me in my comments, because I'm not from here, I don't have the right to speak about them. I've heard too many times that African Americans believe that we Africans look down upon them when we come to this country, that we think we're better than them. It's false. When we were young in Africa, we worshipped African Americans. Yes. We changed our names to African Americans. My friends in school were called Jim Brown, Black Moses. Yes.
Wow.
I was called Superfly.
Okay.
Yes.
Go King.
Blacks in Africa, the barbershop, we go to barbershop until blacks started wearing afro, and we stopped and we started wearing afro.
Really?
We blacks hated our own fabric, the dashiki, until African Americans made it popular in the 70s, and we all started wearing it back. As a case, I had his albums. We've watched all the movies. Kool-Aid High, TNT Jackson, A Hell Up in Harlem, Detroit 9000, Truck Turner, you name it. And then we go home and we're trying to practice how they speak and all that. That was when we were in Africa. Ask any African who went through the 60s and 70s. They'll tell you, oh, we love them. Maya Angelou moved to Ghana, and she was like a sister. 14 years she lived in Ghana. Her son had an accident and broke his leg and arm in Ghana. African Americans are telling me in my comments, because I'm not from here, I don't have the right to speak about them. Do you know W.E.B. Du Bois? Do you know where he died? He died in Ghana, was buried in Ghana, and Nkrumah built a center for Pan-African studies. He came to Africa, the first black PhD holder from Harvard, W.E.B. He came to Ghana, Africa, to tell us that our best way is to be Pan-Africanist. We listened to him. We didn't tell him, who are you to come from the United States and tell us what to do? There's a guy called Kwame Ture. He was formerly called Stokely Carmichael. He's the one who came up with Black Power, Black Power. Do you know where he is right now? In Guinea, in Africa, with pistols on his hip. When you go into my comments, African Americans are saying, I don't know anything about them. Hear me. Know you, the African Americans, more than you know yourself. Why? Because I am coming from the place where they brought you from. So when I got here and I looked at you, I see too much of us in you, and that's why we stay away from you.
Africans see African Americans as Africans. You're going to have people that say, oh, Africans don't see African Americans as Africans. They see us as foreigners. I've been to the African continent. I've lived on the African continent. I studied at the University of Johannesburg for an exchange program. One of the questions I was constantly asked was, where are you from? I'd say the United States. They would ask me, where are you really from? They're implying an African country. Because as a Black American, when you are on the African continent, Africans don't know you're from the States until you start speaking. They assume you're just another African. So I would have to say a region in Africa because I'm not sure, because of the slave trade. But because we as African Americans, as well as Afro-Caribbeans and those in the diaspora, are Black, we blend in. This is why I don't like this whole African versus African Americans versus Afro-Caribbean. Y'all acting like if we dropped y'all in Nigeria, if we dropped y'all in Haiti, if we dropped y'all in the Bahamas, that they finna know you from the States. Yeah, when you start talking, they're gonna know, okay, he has an accent, where is he from? But until that point is asked, you just another African person walking around in the society. Just like you got this debate between African American culture, Afro-Caribbean culture, and African. Like we don't exchange from one another. Like you a Black American ain't African, but you eating yams and okra all the time. You an African who said we ain't got no connection with African Americans, but you listening to hip hop and Afrobeat. You say you ain't Afro-Caribbean, but some of your ancestors come from the Barbados and Haiti, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. Well, Jabari, we weren't born there. We aren't from there. They're going to know we're different. Yeah, just like a Black person from Mississippi is different from a Black person in Ohio. A Black person from the Bronx is different from a Black person who's from LA. A Black person from Enugu is different from a Black person in Kano. A Black person from Johannesburg is different from a Black person from Cape Town. Quit the unnecessary divisions. Africans see African Americans as well as other members of the diaspora as Africans. That don't mean it's kumbaya. It means we are part of the African family, whether or not you live on the continent or abroad. I will go even further and say African American, along with Afro-Caribbean and Afro-Latino culture, all are a part of African culture. They are subsets unique to their own circumstances. And y'all can rep your culture. Because that's what makes African culture special.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about what Africans actually think about Americans. Let me just say Black Americans. What we actually think, or how we think about Black people in America. I want to let you guys know for the first time. There's a message going around saying that Africans hate Black Americans. I want to tell you guys from myself growing up in West Africa, Ghana, how we used to honor Black people, Black celebrities. Even till today, if you go to every African home, especially young guys, you see big calendars of Black celebrities in America, Jay-Z, whatever. They are there. We honor them like we wanted to be like them. We listen to their music growing up. The way they dress, whatever they do, that's what we were doing growing up. So when I came to America and I'm here, Africa, so I like America. Maybe Africans in America don't like when we come here. Maybe something changed. But the truth about how we see Blacks in America from an African standpoint, let me say West Africa, because if you want Blacks, mostly in West Africa, how we honor them. I don't even think the real Black Americans honor their celebrities like we do in Africa. The way they dress. I remember growing up, 50 Cent, when 50 Cent came, the actual picture on his album, the back cover of his album, that the one he removed his shirt and they draw whatever. You go to a young guy's room, almost every young guy, you go to his room, you see a very giant picture of that particular calendar, as big as a door. hanging out in his room. When you enter, that's what you're going to see first. As I remember, P. Diddy, okay, we call him Puff Daddy. We were calling him Puff Daddy. You see Puff Daddy with his nice shoes, the way they wear their hat, turn it like this. We will go and buy hat because of that. We just want to dress like that. I remember Nelly with those things here. We just wanted everything they do, we do the same. The way they dress, they're wearing bigger t-shirt, oversized t-shirt. We also go and buy oversized t-shirt to wear just to look like them. They wear their hat, turn it like this. We also go and do the same thing. Everything, their music, there was no song. People like Jay-Z, Nelly, this guy, Jaru, this guy, Sean Paul, all those kind. Let me talk about my age limit. That's where I don't know further music. I'm not even used to Michael Jackson music like that. But those hip hop stars in America, we honor them. Like we were holding them like role model. We wanted to be like them. We have guys naming themselves. Oh, my name is Cisco. Oh, my name is Jay-Z. I am this. I'm 50 Cent. And we even in our school, secondary school, we attended boarding schools. So every Saturday is called entertainment night. We have entertainment night in every Saturday. Every Saturday, if they are playing 100 songs, 80 something are going to be American hip hop music. So we knew them word to word. So when you come to America and they say Africans don't like America, I used to like a black American. I'm like, at first it got me. I was so weird. It was so weird to even think about it. I'm like, where are they getting this from? And sometimes we just cannot talk. We cannot generalize the whole Africa because every part of Africa has different mentality. The way East Africans think is not the same West African things or South African things or North African things. So maybe, but Africa is Africa. So you can, but West Africa, we don't play with our black Americans. And anytime one of them visit Ghana, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Togo, Burkina Faso, whatever, Liberia, you will see the crowd. If they are going to the stadium will be sold out. 80,000 capacity stadium will be sold out. I remember when Chris Brown came to Ghana. I remember this guy Shaggy came to Ghana. Immediately the day he is coming, people will drive 10 hours to come to that event because their hero is coming. We honor them, and when they are coming for just a visit, not even a show, a visit, anytime we just notice that this guy is an American. We want you to see things, even places that you have to go and pay money to see, like to visit. They are offering it to you for free to make you just know the thing because we want you to know. But when you come here, the story is different. Africans don't like us. It's so weird, to be honest. Some of us, it's so weird to even think about it. We love our black Americans, those that we know. If you go to Africa and see, we'll print t-shirts with Puff Daddy's t-shirt like that, with his picture, big picture in front of our shirts. And that's what we wear. There was a time I remember, they came out with, one of them came out with an oversized shoes. They are wearing oversized shoes. And we also start wearing them. I was in high school. You just go and buy shoe oversized and we'll put something to push the so that it will not fall. And you wear the oversized shoe and just be walking on campus. And that was life because that was what we see the American guys doing. And we wanted to be like them. I remember Cisco. When Cisco blew his hair, everybody started trying to do their hair like that. And any guy we see, even when we are playing soccer, you see guys blow their hair just to look like that. And we know their music from word to word. When there's a funeral, there's a wedding, there's every program in the club, we play their music. So I don't know, when I give that story of Africans don't like, maybe they are just meeting wrong people. And we cannot generalize people. You cannot think for everybody. But that story is always weird. Like anytime I hear that Africans, they don't like us, I ask like, do you guys really know how we love you? It's not even like, it's love. I mean love. We will buy every album that comes out. We will buy it. We'll go and pay money and buy it. When there's a brand that has an African American in it, we will buy it. We've spent our last money to buy it. Everybody want to be like Jay-Z. The girls, oh, I'm Beyonce, I am this, and the way they walk, the way the Beyonce walk, the way Beyonce dance, they want to be like the ladies. Now you come here and they're saying a different story. We don't hate. If you guys know how we treat you guys, you wouldn't even talk. Immediately we just recognize that this black guy is coming from America. Even if you are, even based on your own perceptions, but you can even get free accommodation. Like we can give you our room to stay until you are going back for free. Yes, we can just give you a room, like in my house. I can give you one room, stay here. Anywhere you want to go, I will drive you to the place, come back until you are going back to America. We just have that kind of generosity. We have that love for our black people in America. I don't know who spoiled the story, but you can speak for everybody.
Your family comes from Nigeria, and you were going back and forth to Nigeria. So culturally, you're very Nigerian. You can tell, you're constantly referencing it. You do the accent sometimes.
Yeah.
These days, you have this interesting kind of thing happening between what they call foundational
FBA.
Black Americans versus Black immigrants.
Okay.
There's even terms like tethers. Have you heard that before?
No, we do.
A tether,
I got called
I
a
actually looked
tether
it
all
up
the
so
time.
I say it correctly, is a term used by foundational Black Americans to describe African or Caribbean immigrants who moved to America for economic opportunity, using the benefits of the American civil rights struggle while simultaneously disparaging the history, legacy, and lineage of the
Very
Black American
disturbing.
movement.
Okay.
So, Tariq Nasheed, I don't know if you know who he is, he's been a guest on my show a couple times. He's real big on this.
Okay.
He even did a documentary about hip hop where basically the main point is that hip hop was created by Black Americans. Jamaicans had nothing to do with it. Puerto Ricans had nothing to do with it. Even
Jamaicans,
though Cool
let us know.
is Jamaican.
Let us know, Jamaicans.
But that had nothing to do with hip hop.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all American. Have you ever noticed kind of like the tension between Africans and Black Americans?
Absolutely.
And so describe to me how you view that.
Well, for a long time, man, it's not even just Africans too. You can throw in Haitians as well. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like growing up, it wasn't cool to be African. You were the butt of every joke, African booty scratcher, you're dark as hell, you look like midnight, I just happen to be light skinned. So the ignorance of it is like, I've never seen a light skinned Nigerian before, but I didn't get those things. But a lot of my cousins and a lot of my friends went through a lot of it. But when I was back in Nigeria, I was like one of the few really bright, light skin with light eyes back when I was a kid in my village. So they ostracized me, and I was American. So they were like, you're a white man. You're Oyibo. We don't want you now. You know what I mean? So I was left alone a lot when I was back in Nigeria, to be quite honest, until I got older, and then it became, he's the cool American cousin. But both places didn't accept this side of this side of who I am, because it was just the outsider. So, and when I grew up, a lot of the Haitian, Jamaican, first generation kids, they didn't have, from where I'm from, they're only speaking from where I'm from, they weren't really up to date on fashion or up to date on style or these things. So they were made to be fun of, like, yo, look at the African boy over there. It's only until 2017 or 16 that it became cool to be African because of Black Panther, because of Afro beats, and now I want to know my genealogy and all this. I remember the first time I realized that, it's not to be cool to be African. I was on set with Lorenz Tate, and he was like, yo, bro, I just did my 23andMe, and I'm like 60% Nigerian, bro. So I can eat that jollof rice and all that, that oyibo, that fufu. I'm like, I've never heard, anyone talk like that. And it's a beautiful thing, but it was a really it's a very recent transition into acceptance, and so I grew up for a long time seeing the opposite, but I'm happy that it's where it is now, but yeah, there was definitely a lot of miscommunication, a lot of judgment. But again, once you realize that Black Americans come from Africa, and really understand that, yo, you're one of us. You just don't know where you're from, what country you're from yet. But if you do more research, you'll understand. But you're one of us, even some Cubans, even some South Americans, even Jamaicans derive from, Africa. So like, we're all from the same place, And so once we start realizing it, and I think music has brought the world closer as well. So it's cool to be African now. It's like a fraternity, a sorority.
So I shared my DNA results on TikTok, and some very interesting things happened. One, I found out that I am no longer a Black American. Yes, I was told that Black Americans do not have African DNA. And because my ancestry came back sitting at an 86.4% African ancestry, I am an African. I am not a Black American, so I would be considered an African American. So there has been a clear separation within the community, and I'm here to let y'all know, if you have West African ancestry, you are not a Black American, okay? The Black Americans were already here, okay? They are the owners, they are the inhabitants of the land. They have already been here. Their ancestors did not go through slavery. Their ancestors did not experience colonization, and their ancestors have nothing to do with Africa. This is what I've learned. This is what I have come to the conclusion. By the way, I'm not offended to be African at all. Not offended at all. But I do have a couple of questions for you guys. So since you guys have made a clear separation and you are not a part of the African diaspora, my question is, who gets to claim the culture? Because it can't be you. Because the Black American, the African American culture that was built here in the United States was built by the descendants of Africans. And in fact, some of our most famous leaders who helped build the culture never made a separation or said that they have nothing to do with Africa. In fact, Frederick Douglass repeatedly referred to Black Americans as the descendants of Africans. W.E. Du Bois referred to us as part of the African diaspora. He centered Africa as the foundation to the Black identity. Marcus Garvey spoke of Black people globally as African people. His entire movement was built on African origin and pride. Malcolm X described Black Americans as Africans in America. Martin Luther King, Sojourner Truth, identified as African descent. Even when we look at the Black church, it was built off of the African culture that was brought over here. Its spirituality, its dance can be tracked back to Africa. Our music, the culture that we built, derived from Africa. So if you guys don't claim that, then what is your culture?
Can you talk about how, because I'm sure there may be some hesitation, oh, I don't want to go there. They may not like us. They may think we're fake, yada, yada, yada. Can you talk about what kind of greeting they can expect to receive when they plug into African communities?
Love.
Yeah.
Love.
It's all
It's
love.
all love. What? When you go, like, man, when you go to let me try to paint the picture for you. You get there. First of all, success is important. Education is important. So we cherish that.
Yeah.
Right? Challenge to strive hard and be the best you can be. All families. You come in, you have a good time, try the different foods. They'll ask you, what do you do? What school you go to? That's the first. What school you going to? You're telling me a school you go to.
Yeah.
Right? And then you interact, the music. I mean, it's all love.
Yeah.
It's just like a party here in the States. We party too.
Yeah.
Africans sure got a lot to say about American blacks. Bet. Africans don't dislike Black Americans because we lost our culture. It's because deep down, y'all jealous. Y'all jealous that we the cultural engine. We created the music, the fashion, the slang that influences the whole world, buddy. Y'all really hate it didn't come from y'all, huh? Y'all bought the lie that we was just descendants of slaves, knowing it wasn't true. Cause real talk, our people was already here, bucko. You not looking down on your long lost brothers and sisters. Y'all looking at a stranger. And that's why our energy don't match. And being all the way real, y'all mad y'all ancestors wasn't taken. You mad y'all still living on dirt roads and battling colonial systems. While the ones you think are lost became the blueprint for the Black global culture. Y'all could dress like us, talk like us, rap like us, but never forget where the sauce came from. And if we was just slaves, why y'all trying to be us? Y'all say we don't know our tribes, but y'all don't know y'all power. American blacks been through hell and we still came out leaders. We could talk lineage, but make sure you put some respect on that shit. American blacks don't need to prove our origin. Next time you start hating, make sure you check your reflection, partner. Cause y'all dressing just like the same people you trying to look down on. That ain't hate, that's jealousy. Go on and own that, rub it in your chest.
So it's so funny. You see, it's so funny. When you listen to some of them and the way they even talk, it's funny. I don't know who told them Africans hate African Americans. We don't. And as you can see, some African Americans that have visited Ghana and other African countries before, like Zambia, they are telling you, one-on-one interaction with some Africans, they are telling you, we don't hate you people. Trust me, back in the days, as they were saying, listen, when you talk about hip-hop, everything, like, bro, the youth were basically dressing like these African American hip-hop artists, doing all the things that they were doing, basically copying everything. Bro, if you hate someone, will you be copying the person like that? We don't. And it was, that culture was very, very effective in Africa. Not just even Ghana, but the whole of Africa. People were just dressing like African Americans because, bro, that was what was trending at that time. Rapping like Jay-Z, rapping like